Good evening, Wolfpack. I am sitting here in my basement, and I wanted to show off the one of my most recent acquisitions. I saw this on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know if you guys have ever bought anything from there, but that is a fantastic source for a lot of stuff, especially tools. I've gotten a lot of tools from there. But I was just going through, and I saw a random post about a cool cook kit, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, that looks actually really complete, and it's quite vintage. I did post about it a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to give a real quick overview of what it is and what it actually has with it. Now, I didn't clean it or anything. Picked it up. It was $20, complete. The guy who got it from was super nice. He cleans out houses for a living, like a estate salesman, and gets rid of the more valuable stuff that he knows he has buyers for, and then he just collects all the other stuff and posts it for a good price. So I reached out to him, picked it up that day, and here it is. It is the, oh, I don't have it buckled. It is the Sigg Tourist aluminum cook kit, and I'm going to reposition the camera and show you this thing deep down. So here we go. Please excuse the state of my workbench. It's a little messy. But so this is it. It comes with a plastic strap that wraps around to keep it nice and tight. This is the original strap. I don't really know a whole lot about this particular cook kit though. I don't know the time. I would venture a guess to say maybe 1950s, but I honestly don't know. There's no date or anything on there. And I did brief research on it, but I wasn't really able to find a whole lot about manufacture dates. But there are two hooks, I guess, loops, aluminum loops that go through both sides of the lid, which actually doubles for a few things, or a couple of things. So without further ado, here we go. So open this up, put that off to the side. In here, I have a pot grabber. I have a Svea 123 stove, made in Sweden. That's this right here. These are actually quite popular as far as I know. And there's a few things that go with it. There is the burner protector, I guess. I'm not 100% sure what you would call this, but that screws onto the top of the stove. If I can get the threads to catch. This is brass. I don't want to force it or anything like that. And then there's a burner plate that goes right on top as well. And it does have a key on there connected by a chain. This key is to adjust the fuel that's in there. This thing is empty. And then this is actually kind of rare. This is a mini pump. This actually will pump pressure into there. Now, as you can see along the top here, I'm not sure if you can actually see it, there's a little divot going all the way around. You would actually take some fuel out and put that in there and light it, and the heat will automatically pressurize this thing and will allow the fuel to propagate up and allow it to burn. So there's a few things inside of here. We have this and this. I'll show you exactly how all these work. And then there's a couple of pots in here. So this right here is actually the windscreen. Now, the Svea 123, as far as I can tell, came in two different flavors. One of them has a sleeve that goes all the way around the stove. It actually fits onto the stove, and then there's an aluminum cup that fits on the top of there. That's more of a traveler's style, really compact. This right here obviously is made for this cook kit. So as you can see on the inside here, there are two tabs, and those two tabs actually fit right around the rim. And there's a little indentation at the bottom as well that the bottom of this fits perfectly into. So once it's slid in there, it actually will hold on quite nicely. And then the key, you want to position it in a way where the key will go through here, through one of these windows, and the key actually is on here, so completely protected. And then this is the windscreen that goes right up on top and protects it perfectly. So you have your key there, and you have the stove burner, which is protruding through there. Now, another thing about this key is that it actually has some wrenches on there, as you can see. And these are to adjust several things. You can adjust the nut here. I believe there's a nut on the inside of the burner as well. Haven't really taken it apart, and obviously, again, haven't really cleaned it. But, so that's the stove portion of it. And then you have all the configurations of pots that you can put in here. So the pot itself actually has two in here. You have a smaller pot here, and that fits on top. And you can even use this as a double boiler. So the pan fits on there as well. So you can boil water here, and you can also cook eggs or what have you in the pan up on top. You also have the larger pot, which fits in there. And again, these all have these little indentations on the bottom that fit nice and snugly in here, so it's not going to fall over. There's some stuff in there. Like I said, I haven't cleaned it. And then this still will also fit on top, again, used as a double boiler. And you can even go as far as to do this. Boil water in here, boil more water in here, and then cook on there. So you have a few configurations of this thing. It's pretty slick. And then, of course, you have your pot grabber, which you can use to, well, remove everything safely without burning your hands. And it all fits quite nicely inside one another. I am not going to light the stove. I don't have any white fuel right now, so I can't light it. Also, again, I haven't really cleaned it. But that is the Sigg Tourist. Doesn't really weigh a whole lot. I mean, of course, it's heavier than your stoves that you're going to find nowadays. And it is aluminum. I know there's some people that don't like to cook out of aluminum. Personally, I don't really like to either. Just not really the biggest fan of it. But in a pinch, it'll work, and I'm sure I will use this at some point. It all fits quite nicely into there. And then put the top back on and run the strap here. And you have yourself the Sigg Tourist aluminum cook set. Circa, I have no idea. All right. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.